kids, and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 3 as the United Kingdom. Last episode, Japan declared war. We have fought rather successfully in Siam. Haven't had any major naval. I don't think we've had any naval engagements with the IJN yet. Although I'm sure that's on its way. I think we also are in the middle of leaving this port here to Finland. So for this episode, a few things we're gonna keep in mind here. Obviously, we're gonna continue to build up our armies for an eventual invasion of mainland Europe. And that's something I think at this point we'll be doing for the remainder of the war. We'll just be constantly building more armies, trying to balance building armies and the officer ratio. Although we're starting to have quite a technological, we've got a lot more leadership. I think probably because of provinces we've taken in Italy. You can see that the Italian front here is stable, although there's a huge amount of forces here. So it's always slightly risky to do things this way, but I'm really gambling on the fact that I just don't think they can punch through. I mean, this line is pretty damn solid. I just don't think they can punch through this line. We could get some nasty stacking penalties from all those troops, but I don't know. I think we have a level 5. We have a level 5 field marshal here, so. Definitely gotta just kind of hold on there. Oh, America. For some reason they always paradrop on this territory. The US AI has a lot of trouble. The AI in general has a lot of trouble, shipping troops, moving troops around the map. They have a lot of trouble getting them to destinations in a coherent way. And so one of the things you see the US doing a lot is these hilarious paratrooper little missions, because it seems to be the way that the AI manages to actually transport troops across the map. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. A few things we should pay attention to. Finland, my goal, and I think I've touched on this a bit. I mean, my goal is obviously to defeat Germany. That's goal number one. And we will defeat Germany. I mean, it's not very difficult when you're a human player playing on normal difficulty as the United Kingdom. It's not very difficult to defeat Germany, especially when you use the U.S. aid. Lend-Lease particularly, but also if we get some expeditionary forces, we'll have quite a huge army. We could probably beat Germany even without the Soviet Union, right? But so the real goal though is to not only defeat Germany, but to take more territory than the Soviets. I've been thinking about this Let's Play actually, and certainly once I defeat Germany and Japan, I'll probably at the very least take a break from this game. Just out of personal, I'll get tired of playing the game. But I think I'm gonna hold on to the save file, and I may do kind of a sequel where we duke it out with the Soviet Union. So I think that could be a lot of fun. I'll keep it in mind. Put it on the list of kind of long-term projects for this channel. Yes. So. Goals though: defeating Japan, defeating Germany, taking as much of, say, mainland Europe as we can, not giving away much to the Soviets. A good thing we can consider doing, and I'll consider doing it, is if we can quickly puppet Finland. If we can time that reasonably well, so that we puppet Finland and the Germans are not on the border of it, because the problem is if we puppet it and just sort of leave it and forget about it, it's quite possible that Germany will conquer it if they break through Leningrad. So I think it's something to just keep an eye on this front here, and depending on where the front is, maybe reserve some Marine divisions, take them from the Pacific or whatever, and just pop them over here, grab those 3 victory point provinces, and puppet them, and then just garrison those three key provinces there. And if we do so in a way that the Finnish army doesn't get encircled, and we want to try and time it before the Soviets do the same thing, right? The Finnish army is reasonably good at defending Finland's territory. It generally takes a long time for anyone to make any headway here, mostly because of the terrain. So, yeah, I think that could be an interesting thing to keep in mind. We will see. Certainly not. I don't want to let, if at all possible, I want to try and prevent Norway from getting conquered. Other than that, here in the Pacific, I think we're going to be focusing a lot. So, as I mentioned at the end of the last episode, I want to encircle these troops and sort of start marching towards these victory points, which should happen quite quickly. Puppet Siam, and I want to keep, because I want to keep their army. So I really don't want to. I really don't want to destroy destroy these divisions through encirclement. I want to just kind of block them off, get them out of my way, and do that quickly, and do it before Japan drops many more troops here. And then I probably want to hold a line on that river. So I think that's the plan. Other things to keep in mind, I've noticed that Japan is doing its normal thing where it lands troops, obviously in the Philippines. Probably they'll conquer the Philippines. They usually do, and in the Dutch East Indies. So this is an area where it will be a good idea for us to intervene. They'll probably also land stuff in Australia. The AI Japan always seems to go for Australia, which is kind of crazy, frankly. But it does happen. So I don't know. We have to be very careful not to overextend here, because we're better off just keeping Japan at bay while we prepare for. I mean, it's a choice, right? We could, I guess. My concern is that if we decide to go all out against Japan, we will lose more of Europe to the Soviet Union. So, yeah, I think that's the plan. I do have in production. This is our final naval production, and I guess it looks like the carriers have already popped out. Just waiting on these light cruisers and the CAGs for the carriers. So that's going to come in May. So once we have a third carrier squadron, that will allow us to do things like intervene down here. For the time being, I think we're really best off just holding that straight. Because what I don't want to happen is for these two carrier squadrons to get deorged. I don't want to send them out on kind of sorties against the Japanese. Anyway, let's dive in. Another thing I completely forgot we were doing. We are influencing Romania. And they're going towards the Allies. So for the time being, they're just neutral. What is their neutrality, actually? Yeah, their neutrality's 10%, so they could probably, once they get closer to the Allies, we could invite them to join. I think we probably won't, because they'll just get squashed right away. Although, yeah, probably best if we wait until we're actually advancing and then have them join the Allies, and then maybe they can go down and try and deal with Bulgaria or something. You know. Anyway, let's get going. So, in terms of production, I think we need garrisons. Let's just take a look. We probably only need 2. One there and one there. Because Japan will take these ports and just cause chaos if we don't at least build a couple of garrisons. So, let's just put those at the bottom of the queue. And other than that, I think we're just gonna get rolling here. Whoops. Sorry for the rapid scrolling. Give everyone a seizure. All right. I should probably cancel this order. If I move into that province, they can come behind me. Or we can just keep marching north here, although I don't really see what the point is. Where are the victory points again? Oh, we need to get down here. Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll go up this side here. I'm just not sure. Let's just hold there. That was a costly battle anyway. These guys going down there, and these guys will continue to march towards this one. We're getting ground attacked. I did build an airbase there. Oh yeah, I was trying to take that airbase. Maybe we'll do... I'm very reluctant to do much in the way of landings. Mostly because I just don't want... I want to have these Marines available. Maybe we'll use these guys. Yeah, let's do that. And if we do like naval invasions, we will attract the Japanese fleet, which is fine. I do want to fight them. I'm not trying to sort of run away from them, but okay, this is kind of tenuous. Maybe we can just attack there, and that will... Yeah, perfect. Tank Destroyer Brigade, that's for the armored divisions, yes. Probably going to, yeah, we're going to need to put more things in the queue here at some point. Let's make sure I've got some, oh yeah, we need to keep an eye on this here. We're just, maybe 2 points into officers. We only have 34 projects. Let's do all our 42 techs. So, if we are going to fight the Soviet Union, then this is important. This is probably not a big deal. I'll hold off on it for now. I think we're pretty much... I'll do this just for kicks. I think we're pretty much done with naval techs, except for these ones that actually upgrade. Some of the anti-air stuff is good too, but we're not going to be facing any enemies that have vastly superior navy from this point on. And the 1942 techs are probably the last really important round of techs that we actually need to do. This is gravy, but I'll take it. I like the, I like engineers. They're cool. And all this is really important. I'll put central planning back into the queue for counterattack. Radar training. You should probably be higher up, but not overly concerned. Once again, all of these are really vital for fighting Japan. Keeping them up to date is a pretty high priority. This is gravy. Okay. Okay, so what can I do here to... Ooh, our tactical bomber is basically out of org. I have these guys here. I'm just not sure that it's worth deploying them, because if we start getting port strikes, what's going to happen is Japan is going to take an airbase here, and they're going to start port striking Singapore, and they're going to start naval striking our navies. So it's probably better off to just have our troops here be essentially unprotected. It's not going to be much fun for them, but that's how it is. Okay, what can we do here? No, you stay there. Just need to hold this line. I think we're better to attack from the south for now. That's a good tech. Help us sink more Japanese ships. Do we have it? Yeah, we have air cover there. Yeah, we're still ripping through the German Air Force. What's going on here? Oh. Okay, so those guys have also run out of org by essentially bombing Italian troops. That's fine. That's why they're on passive, so that they don't just like suicide basically. I'm gonna go speed 5 for a second here. Wait a second though. Yeah, this is just not even worth it. I'm gonna leave those guys there for now. those Marines are going to be more useful over here. And what we have up here, we're probably going to need to kind of hold this line. To some degree, anyway. We do have almost enough forces here to go, like, to really go on the offensive against Japan. We don't really need much more. Jet engine is a 43 tech. I'm not going to research it earlier, but it's definitely a worthwhile tech for the speed. Obviously, jet engines were pretty much experimental in World War II. They weren't really much of a game changer. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, this guy is just, oh, he's out of supply and he's still retreating. Are these guys getting bombed? No. Okay. Now, question is, yeah, they can't get through there. Okay, good. SP Arts, that goes here. I'm gonna have to put some more units in the queue. We don't need any more naval units. I don't even think we need any more air units. If anything, we need more interceptors to follow our armies through Europe. Has Italy been upgrading their infrastructure? I think that looks like upgrades to me. I don't think, maybe Italy starts with that, but I don't think so. I don't think Italy, Northwest Italy starts with higher infrastructure than France. Interesting. Right, what is our construction practical? Yeah, it's huge, okay. I want to take a look at the second army here. No. Oh, right, that's an extra landing craft group. Where did I put them? Army Group France. So there are 3 corps, and then we have this guy coming, another armor corps. Yeah, so that's the whole second army. Maybe we'll just start building the third army right away. Or whatever it's going to be called. So what I want for that is, do I want to use mechanized? It could be fun to use mechanized. It's probably just going to make it cost too much, though. Yeah, you know what? I don't think so. Maybe we'll upgrade to mechanized if we do fight the Soviets. We need SB Art and Tank Destroyer. And I think we're going to do another 10. Get those going. And then we'll want maybe 15 motorized divisions. Motorized divisions, I was going with Armored Car and SP Art. And that's a whole other army. So when all this pops out, look at that, we basically run out of the naming, the historical names by building too much. Yeah, once we run out of, once we build all of that, I mean, they'll be coming out as we're invading, basically. But we're almost ready to, we're essentially almost ready to invade. I think, if anything, we're going to need to bring some Marines back from the Pacific to do that invasion. So it's not such a bad thing that these guys here, yeah, I think they're ultimately going to end up heading back. I could build more Marines, but it's just going to take more time. Once we land, we don't need the Marines, right? The Marines can be sent to back to the Pacific once we're done with the actual landing in Europe. So we're finding subs. Looks like, I don't know, I think we should be sinking more subs soon. Especially with we have the pretty high level ASW tech and the torpedoes. The bomber torpedoes, whatever they're called. Okay, what's going on here? I need to keep advancing. Are we... Looks like they... I'm not sure if I just don't have line of sight there. I think that's 10% infrastructure. Yeah, okay. So we don't need to take those provinces. You can keep going. That guy's probably deorged. Let's get them right across that river. We're all good here. Probably just hold the line there. Is there another? No. Okay, the only victory point we actually need is... We can probably just beeline for that victory point. Looks good to me. Maybe I'll take this guy and go even further. Could also bring the Gurkhas back to we could bring the Gurkhas back to do the sort of D-Day invasion, but I think it's probably not a good idea. We just don't need it. The north of this is so lightly defended. I mean, it's almost laughable. The only reason I'm not landing yet is just because I don't have quite enough troops ready for that invasion. But let's try and speed things up here. I don't know if we'll be able to invade France in this episode, but we may be able to in the next. We'll see. Okay. Okay, we're getting dangerously close to encircling these units. Gotta be very careful. I really don't want to destroy the Siamese army. Alright, that was TAC pilot training, which is at 1940. We'll leave it. Whatever. At this point, any trading is entirely unnecessary. Definitely going to need to put more points into officers. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put 5. Because as those units start popping out, it'll really reduce them. Yeah, we're getting ground attacked by multi-rolls. Of course, as soon as I take these 2 air bases, that will change. In fact, no, it's not going to help us. To be honest, I think I'm pretty sure that air base is going to run out of fuel. Better to starve them out than to actually take it. Are we going to win this? Yeah, we're going to win it. Just completely deorged one of our marine divisions there. Okay, that victory point is good. There we go. Okay, wait a second. I don't want to do that. Okay, so the Japanese army is kind of arriving in force at this point. It's really important that we grab this victory point fast. I hope we'll be able to. We may actually, we may get stuck here. It would not surprise me at all. No, wait a second though. What just happened? Oh, okay, we didn't need the last victory point. Perfect. Awesome. Now the question is, at this point, we've puppeted Siam. I want them to join in the war, so call to arms. And that's going to make it a lot easier to establish a line against Japan. What I'd like to do, to be honest, is I'd like to get the Gurkhas out of Siam and put them in a place where they can be used elsewhere. So what I might do is take this corps of, like, I'm calling this kind of jungle infantry. I might take that corps, and then I'll have 12 divisions to kind of hold the line here. And then I'll have the Gurkhas to use kind of all around the island hopping type stuff. Right. It's always kind of slow going at this point. What we want to do here is, let's take a look at the infrastructure. Yeah, I'll take that province for sure. And let's just grab this. I keep shuffling this back and forth indecisively, but so maybe we can ferry these guys to keep the garrison there, ferry these guys here, and maybe I'll make an army and put some leaders. Yeah, let's do transport there. Hopefully we won't get intercepted. Definitely be nice to have those garrisons. I predict that we will have to intervene. They'll probably land troops in one of these ports. Okay, so what I want to do is, okay, the Gurkhas are going to have to stay where they are for now because we don't have enough troops in position. Also, I'm noticing that looks like some of Siam's troops are kind of behind enemy lines. We can quickly encircle let's take this guy and move him there. This guy can go there. Get these guys to the front line. Oh, there's a core down here. It's a little bit of a mess, but we'll figure it out. These two as well. Everything can kind of move up there. We're going to have some supply issues for sure. Where are we supplying from? It's a bit weird, isn't it? Looks like essentially both Singapore and Rangoon are sending supplies. Where's the stockpile? I don't see it. But yeah, we're getting supplies at Singapore and Rangoon. And it's pretty bad terrain. But there's no way around it. Definitely getting the Gurkhas out of there would be a good idea. Whatever. I don't care. I'm not buying crude. How is our oil supply? Yeah, our oil supply is like massive. Okay. Where are... So the Gurkha core is already detached. Yeah, as soon as I establish a solid line here, we'll withdraw the Gurkhas. In fact, I'm going to try and avoid advancing with them from now on. And let's take those 3 Indian corps and turn them into, we'll call it the Army of India, why not? Finally, an Army of India. And we should probably give him a pretty decent leader. It's been a while since I looked at leaders. Do these corps have decent leaders? Yeah, they have good leaders. So let's go into one of the more useful screens here. I kind of like Slim as a lieutenant general, so I'm going to keep him there. Alright, we have Allenbrook on the 1st Army, Alexander on the theater. I'm kind of tempted to take Alexander. I think it's probably best if we take Alexander off. Or we could probably take Dempsey and put him. Logistics Wizard would be good. But yeah, I think this guy would be better. One of these 3. We'll leave Monty and the Armored Corps there for now. Yeah. So we're gonna demote him. Of course, now we need to find... Oh, this guy's fine, whatever, just some supply. And we'll put Alexander in charge of the Army of India. Gonna try to avoid fighting these guys across rivers. And I also said I would avoid advancing with Gurkhas, but that's okay. We'll grab that province quickly. As soon as these Marines get to the front, we can withdraw the Gurkhas. We'll withdraw them to... Oh, shit. Do I have a... Let's grab that province with the core. Again, they don't really have any way to supply those air units, so they're just going to sit there in that airbase that I built, which is hilarious. That was really pointless, to be honest, because look, we've got one right here. We can withdraw the Gurkhas to that province. Either one, actually. And then just fly them to wherever we want them, probably Singapore. Nothing's changing there. We can really put all of our focus here while we build the rest of the army to invade. I think for some reason this class of light cruiser, it keeps recycling the same names. There are more names in the text file that determines what names units get. Okay. I'm gonna come down this way. They must be... Yeah, okay, we're not going to encircle them. But they will eventually have... low supply. No. No, they probably will get supply, actually. We do need to keep pressing forward here. You can join that attack. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll attack here. Oh no, that's... They're our allies now. Okay, we got all this stuff on the front. Just gotta distribute these units kind of evenly across the front. That's good. That's probably good. Just send everyone there. And make sure these cores keep moving forward. Oops, did I just do something weird here? No, turn that off. I don't use tactics control. Yeah, I don't know. Do I though? Is it on by default? No. Okay, yeah, I don't really use that one. Maybe I should. I'm not sure. It's like another level of AI, basically. You can sort of influence what battle tactics. Should probably get an army. It wouldn't be the worst thing to get an army group here. Fuck, let's do it. What are we gonna call this? I'm just gonna call it like Army Group Indochina-ish. I know Siam is not really technically Indochina, but the question is, who am I gonna put as the leader? I am a little bit short on. Like, I want to reserve some of these guys for our invasion of. France. So I need one good guy here. Okay, this guy's on a division. Yeah, let's promote him to Field Marshal. I'd rather use the logistics wizards at the army level because the army group level gives a logistics bonus based on the skill. So obviously it's great to have logistics at that level as well, but I find, yeah, we already sort of get part of that bonus. Yeah, I think I'll play until we're ready to invade France. Around the time we're ready to invade France, we're also going to have the naval assets we need to start really attacking. And this is good. What's going to happen here is we're going to do a very similar thing to what we do in Italy. We're going to create a stable line that's very difficult for... Oof, this is a rough battle. We're going to create a stable line that's very difficult for Japan to cross, and then we're going to kind of leave it and forget about it. And we'll focus our energies more on like naval invasions in the Pacific, because we're going to benefit more from that. Okay, so what's going on here? We're doing a river crossing, which is not great, but might as well. And here we can attack. Let's take... Can use the Gurkhas because might as well use up their org rather than the Marines that are going to be holding the line after. So the thing about Gurkhas, when you jump them very far behind enemy lines, you don't have a way to get them back to an airbase where they can jump again. So they're kind of stuck in combat, and that's why this is actually probably the ideal area of the game to be using something like Gurkhas, because jumping them into the middle of France where there's a lot of plains, they quickly lose their advantage. They lose their usefulness. Airbase strike tactics. Oh, we never did this. Let's put that up. It's really, again, it's gravy, but airbase strike tactics, I'm gonna keep that in the queue for sure. I haven't used it much so far, but it can I find it's very useful for solving problems. Like if you're getting hit by bombers and you don't quite have enough interceptors to really turn the tide. Oh shit. Jesus Christ, that garrison is still retreating. Okay, do we have something close by that we can send? I completely forgot. It's really stupid. Are you on AI control? No. Oof, you also don't have the range to get there. So I'll rebase. And then move. That's a good trick, by the way. Oh, we won already. To be honest, I'm not even sure. Like, they didn't even hardly damage, they just have some shitty old sub. These have taken like a week to withdraw. It's very funny. Of course, they have no supply and they're up in these like 0 infrastructure areas. Where did that... No. See, they're going to be out of supply at that base. Let's just send them back here and then... Oh, fuck. Rebase. It is January 42. I forgot to check politics. We still don't have... I think in 43 we get a guy for aircraft carrier practical, so that'll be useful. Supply consumption. Everything here is fine. And we could change the supply throughput, but I don't know, I think the manpower is more useful. Especially now that I'm sort of considering doing a... Let's get this guy. Especially now that I'm considering doing a kind of long game against the Soviet Union, sort of Cold War game. I'm not sure how that will work out, by the way. I don't know, like, we might need to be, like, increasing threat now to actually declare war with them, but I'm not sure how that will look. But whatever, we'll figure it out. And honestly, if I get to the end and it's just like, oh, we can't do that, then we can't. I'm not going to start doing it now. I might at some point. I might start increasing threat just as a safety measure. I'm not sure. Of course, we can also just declare war on the Soviets while we're still at war, while we're just on the verge of conquering the last Axis power or something, and so there's always a way around that. It's a bit gamey, but if our goal is to just have a longer game, then I don't really mind doing a bit of that. Probably take this guy. Oh, this guy is out of org. Let's just do that. These guys, this is pointless. Let's take these guys and move them here. Actually, everyone. Let's attack there. Attack there. Yeah, this is rough fighting. It's rough terrain, and the Japanese the Japanese generally have quite good special forces. So, mind you, the thing about this game is that the AI just does not use leadership optimally. So even if they have more leadership than you, Japan probably has, I don't know, 30 leadership or something, and they'll never use it as well. So I'm gonna take that off for now. It's kind of fun, making our motorized infantry faster, but. Thing is, the motorized infantry is ultimately limited by the speed of the medium infantry, so it's not necessarily going to make a difference. Keep these cores moving. Just put them all in one stack so they don't get mixed up. It should be a short enough front. I don't think there's no more naval bases along here, which is, to be honest, kind of good. Every time we capture a naval base, we need to garrison it. Fall of Leningrad, yeah. So not a good idea to intervene in. Not a good idea to intervene in Finland. Not yet, but I think I do. I'd like to get there before the Soviets. It's very easy, right? You just grab those 3 victory points, and if we do a sort of Cold War continuation of this campaign, then God, we must be running out of convoys, eh? Oof, yeah. Right, let's put a few more in the queue. Never gonna build those, am I? Let's do that. I think that's probably the limit of how much army we're gonna build, by the way. I don't think we're gonna build any more after what's already in the queue, because we will get what are they called? Expeditionary forces sent to us by, like, Canada and the United States and Australia and all that. Oh, what the hell's going on here? Something just, is that an air battle? Okay. What was that? I don't think I have those appear here, which is kind of stupid, to be honest. We lost something. I think it was a... Oh yeah, it was an air battle, okay. Almost definitely an air battle. Just slowly crawling through the far east here. Takes a while for all these guys to catch up. Oh yeah, you need to be moved to the front. We can attack here and here. Support the attack. How's that going? Risky. We do have a good leader. Well, good leader. Not really. Oh, again? Really? So, I think the garrison's finally arrived. Can 8 transports beat 1 submarine? Yes. Which is hilarious. Alright. So, Kirkenes garrison. I'm gonna relocate it to this province. Might as well rename it. What is this province called? Narvik. That Narvik is the port where the British and French considered... Well, they did, I think. I don't know if they actually landed in Narvik, but I can't remember. But the British and French, there was a weird plan to take the port of Narvik to prevent either the Soviets or the Germans from gaining access to it. Early on, Churchill was actively considering, you know, opening hostilities against the Soviet Union and Germany at the same time, which would have been a disaster. I think, you know, for the Allied leaders, especially France and the UK, the Soviet Union was very much considered not a good ally, right? And they knew that they wouldn't. I don't think that they thought that the Soviet Union would be allied with Germany. You know, besides the surprising treaty, but they did. They definitely thought that they were going to end up at war with the Soviet Union, I think, or they considered it a strong possibility. I'm just going to send these in, to be honest. Oh, no, let's go there. No, let's go there. Going to get probably stacking penalty. Yeah, minus 3%, whatever, not a big deal. Oof, this is rough. Are we going to win this battle? Maybe not. I'm going to speed up for a second here because it's just so slow moving across this terrain. Probably getting impatient, but that's okay. This is not, there's nothing guaranteed about this situation here. I mean, we can really, if we're not careful, we can very easily lose this front, right? So we don't have to defend here. Really the line, let me draw an actual battle plan because it's going to be helpful because it's, I keep forgetting. So the line we need to defend, oh, fuck. I'm just going to use this one. I know it's called the Invasion of Italy, but I don't really care. I'm not, I never end up saving these. The whole battle plan thing is a bit weird. We can delete these. That was a success. And we can delete this. Put a line here. That line is too small. Maybe I'll change the color of it so we can actually see it. I think that these provinces they can move through, so... Ooh, this is a very long line. I don't know. To be honest, I'm actually tempted to pull back here. I just don't... I think this is way too long a line to defend. What's the terrain? And I don't really see why we would defend the middle of the jungle. Like, if we wanted to create a short line here, say, I don't see why we would defend there when we could defend here. Maybe keep that urban province. Is that a victory point? Yeah, it is. Maybe we'll pull back. Maybe I'll move this line back. I don't think it's worth it. So what is the infrastructure? Yeah, see, this is a nice short line. I think we're just gonna do that. I know that might seem like a lot of, you know, sort of wasted momentum here, but let me just do this properly. Change it to a view where we can actually see things. That essentially, I think, is a decent line, to be honest. Yeah. So let's just go to the army level here. Just select all these guys. Put 3 there, 2 there. It's gonna make a bit of a mess, but we'll fix it. And then I need something like 2 here at least. 1, 2, and we've got another core. This is a very messy way of doing things, but whatever. Whatever. Okay. Put it to speed 5. Oh, we've got guys in combat. Alright, whatever. I'll wait until that combat's done before reissuing those orders. We really just need to make sure... Okay, enough of this. That's like a very wasteful battle. Just bring everyone back, basically. These guys are already going where they need to go. Yeah. We can circle these troops much easier by taking the ports here and blocking them off like up here. At which point we can deal with them. For the time being, we've managed to attract a quite substantial Japanese force. So that those are just divisions that Japan can't use elsewhere, right? I think overall that's a good good bet. Same strategy as we're using against Italy essentially, and then we'll start to, once I've got this settled, port strike in Olbia. Once I've got this front here settled and I've got the Gurkhas out of action, then yeah, I think putting some Marines. Do Marines have a bonus to urban combat? I don't remember. We just need to make sure that they don't take the city. Do they have any air bases that are kind of in range of us? Not really. Probably keep an eye on what's going down here too. And what am I waiting on in terms of... Okay, this cavalry is going to pop out, which is going to clear up some IC, so that's good. I'm waiting on this armor core here. So June of 42 is the earliest time. Probably July, like midsummer of this year, we can land in France. You can pull back. Just pull back there for now. Secure this province. I'm gonna have to reorganize all this after, but that's okay. I should send this to probably to Rangoon, to be honest. No point in having it eating supplies. More supplies than it needs anyway. Army of India, that's fine. I'm going to take the Gurkha Corps and pull it back to here. Maybe strategic redeploy. That's going to be a bit weird. I kind of hope that the Siamese troops pull back, but whatever. It'll just distract the Japanese while we set up a firm line. It's not like I really care if they get encircled. I just didn't want to do it myself, because it would have been a total waste. I should probably check and make sure these leaders are like old guard or whatever. Yes, it's nice to get the old guard units out of the queue so that they don't get assigned to like really good units. There we go. Those guys are going to... These guys are going to the Middle East, I think. Or no, I guess kind of all over this theater. Probably put like one there, one there, one there, one there. You know, just kind of everywhere, so that we can prevent partisans from rising up and stuff. Because they will. Is there anybody there? No. We need to move someone there. Probably going to lose that province if we don't. We got a bunch of guys up here we need to spread out more evenly. we are. Should be a little bit cautious here. Yeah, there's a good chance we're going to lose this province and have to take it again. Yeah, well. There we go. That's fine. A little bit silly, but that's okay. Starting to form a much firmer line. Just need to spread things out. I think one marine per region is probably, or per province is probably okay where there's a river. What's going on there? Oh, it's just a, okay, that's fine. Yeah, no, it's not the most exciting episode to just watch us like retreat from this, but I think it's really, tactically speaking, in terms of managing our resources, I think it's the right thing to do. These marines will be really good for, like, I'd like to attack here. How are we doing on those kegs? Yeah, this is good. So we'll actually be doing, probably next episode, we will be simultaneously attacking in the Pacific and in France, which, to be honest, will tax the limits of my multitasking. But that'll be a lot more exciting. But this is good. We're building a foundation here, right? So yeah, you get back there. Why don't we move one of these guys up there? This guy's gonna be in shit shape. Seems to still have org, to be honest. You might hear me opening the door for a cat. I'm not going to edit that out of the recording. Let's see. Okay, there's nothing there, but we got units arriving. Wow, we unlocked radar-guided missiles. That's cool. It's always fun to get into some of the secret techs. Flying bomb. Is there any reason to do this? Provincial AA efficiency. That's good. Yeah, this is worth it. The thing is, it's always hard to get the rocket practicals 12. Okay, yeah, okay. I don't particularly like building the flying bombs. I just find that they're kind of more like just more disposable strategic bombers, to be honest. But rare materials for money. Flying bombs are good when you are like totally out of manpower. If I recall correctly, they don't use any manpower. So, okay, we need to. I know one of the things that's definitely killing our supply are these 5 transport planes. So are all the Gurkhas here? We gotta wait until they're like all orged up so they can embark. Yeah, that's fine. Let's get them the fuck out. Send them to Singapore. Oh, the core. Yeah, well, that's fine. I'll deal with the core after. Okay, that's all of them, right? Why did I only get 4? Where's the other one? Oh, fuck. Whatever. You know what? I can't be bothered to like go and pick that up and deal with that. So let's just strategically redeploy those 2. So I don't need to use them right away, but we can use a combination of those Marines and the Gurkhas to deal with this kind of shit, right? Like, let me look at the. Yeah, we can actually land here with Gurkhas, so that could be really cool. Land there, and it's good. We can just sort of encircle small groups of Japanese troops on these islands, and we can kind of do it several times. Like, we don't actually need to start really hopping into, like, I don't really want to be hopping all over the place over here. Just encircling small groups, kind of diluting the Japanese manpower pool. Japan does have a lot of manpower. They really do. Germany's manpower at this point is going to start going down. Like, we haven't surpassed Germany yet, but we will. We will surpass them in manpower because they're going to start losing a lot on the Eastern Front. We've already surpassed them in IC. Let's take a look here. Japan. Yeah, Japan has more manpower than Germany, and part of the reason for that is that they don't lose a lot of manpower by losing ships, and it just takes so long for the US to get their shit together to actually start taking these islands and doing any, like, in the US basically I have hardly ever seen them complete an invasion of Japan. Watch them do it in this campaign. I mean, I've seen it before, but it often comes quite late, and the only time I see the Americans play a really active role in invading Japan is is actually when I completely ignore this theater. Certainly when we invade France, we'll be paying more attention to that. So there will be probably a little bit of neglect in the east, but that's why it's such a good idea to set up a strong front here. Army of India, everyone's in range. I'm not going to worry too much about the location of each corps or anything. And yeah, probably cycle around. I'm not sure we're going to keep those good generals here. Although there is a fairly large Japanese force. Okay, it's March. What do we got? 3 there, 3 there, 3 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. I think that's enough. This province can only be attacked from there. This one can be attacked from 2, can it? Yeah. This one can be attacked from here, here, but I think that's too low infrastructure. Oh yeah, yeah, that's good. So this is pretty defensible. They can only be attacked across the river. There's no way to attack these provinces without crossing a river. So I think that's good. I think that's just probably as few troops we can keep to hold that line. It's really, really, you know, it's the bare minimum. I mean, obviously there's the Siamese divisions as well, which will help. I can see here, like, that's actually very useful to have Siam defending that. We need to get, okay, whoa, what's going on here? Why are we getting hit? Shit. Oof, see, this is what I was concerned about. I don't know whether it was just I wasn't paying attention, or I need to do this. It's probably going to cause stacking penalties for the air, but you're better off. Land-based air is just so much better at protecting against port strikes. Okay, so we're going to start to see some naval action here. We need to... what's going on here? These guys are fine. We need to actually send these to port. Okay, and then I'm going to try and intercept some of those Japanese ones, fleets. Basically, I just start paying attention here, to be honest. They are going to probably have massive fleets here, so it'd be nice if we could maybe intercept one. Ah, good. I'd rather we intercepted some. Yeah, we got to get the fuck out of here, though. See, like, they have naval bombers there. We really cannot. We cannot stick around here. And I find that the key to defeating Japan is to really follow their navies. Like, you deorg them and then you follow them to actually sink them. But they're going back into port now, probably. Let's just bring it back up here to the Singapore Strait. That was really rough, having that, getting hit there by, by naval bombers. That was not pleasant. Oh, good. That's good news. Yeah, that's really good. It's this tech, though. This one's the key. This one is really, really a good one. That and the radar and everything. Right. Well, we can wait for, hopefully Siam won't get encircled, but looks like they've got about at least a dozen divisions or so. They've got at least as many divisions as we do, if not more. But again, the idea here is not to push. It's just to hold a stable line. Alright, Second Army is starting to pop out. What else? What is this? This is... Okay, I'll name those corps after. And once we have one full army, I'm gonna land. Even if all we can do is like land and like hold a line like here or something. Like we'll decide where we're gonna land first of all, and then I'll figure out what I think I can hold in terms of a beachhead. By the time we get that under wraps, the next army will start coming out. As soon as these kegs are done, these kegs are what are slowing us down now. But we need the third carrier group. It's if we don't have the third carrier group, we will just always be on the defensive in the Pacific. It takes so long for the Americans to deal with the Japanese Navy, and unfortunately, I find that using our battle fleets or whatever we called them, in using our battle fleets in the Pacific they just get sunk. There's just no. I forgot to issue that order. There's just no limit to. There's no way to prevent them. There's no effective way of using those battle fleets without them getting hit by carriers and sunk. And it's a total waste. It's a real waste. We're better to use exclusively carriers. Ah, that's a great tech. That's really, really good. Very, very glad to see that pop out. How are you doing? Better, but not great, eh? Not great. That's the thing. Carrier groups, the way that CAGs work when they're on CAG duty, they're not very good at defending against like port strikes. They don't. The mission kind of cycles in a weird way. It cycles in a weird way where they don't seem to be always protecting their ships. So unless you have them on intercept, then if you have them on intercept over the tile that your fleet is in, then of course they'll be very effective at intercepting. But I don't know. It's always kind of a shame, to be honest, to do it that way. Oh, that's good. Italy's still wasting IC on Navy. Not that they could do anything to salvage their situation regardless. You got to think about how we're going to deal with this. Although, to be honest, once we land up here, this is going to thin out. They're going to have to send a lot of this up here. They're also going to start to lose in Russia. They always lose. I know that in past versions of this game, before this DLC, I know that I never played it, to be honest. I only ever played their Finest Hour. I bought this game when there was already a complete edition out. I didn't buy it when it came out. And I know that in the For the Motherland and previous versions, just the diplomacy of the game was a lot wonkier in general, in the sense that some more unpredictable things can happen. And I know that I think that they purposely made it a little bit more railroaded, which I'm happy with. The only thing that is not historical, that happens every single game that's not historical, is this business with Nationalist China. Nationalist China tends to simply lose the war against Japan rather than fight throughout the conflict, and that's a shame. It's a shame. It makes it less historical, but on the other hand, it helps Japan stay competitive. So, yeah. Yeah, Nationalist China is too weak. They're too weak as the AI. They don't. I think that they never, like in the development cycle of this game, I think that they never really quite cracked how to make AI better at Navy and Air Force. I mean, Black Ice has done some amazing things. The Black Ice team has done some amazing things with that, especially recently with their big naval expansions and stuff. But they never really cracked that. So the only thing they could do to make Japan not a total pushover was to nerf Nationalist China so that Japan doesn't have armies all here. I wonder how much IC Japan has. Probably not very much, I would think. 204. Yeah, no. Delay doctrine. Always good. 61 projects for the rest of the year. Yeah, see, the even number years. I know I said this backwards in at least one episode. The even number years are the most intensive for the UK. You tend to fall behind on the even number years. But after we get the 1942 techs, like, we'll probably not research any more infantry until we decide to maybe attack the Soviet Union or whatever. I mean, you do not need to research 42 techs because the war will be done by then. So this is probably 44 techs. I mean, the war will likely, whatever we get from these techs will likely not be ready until after the war is done, right? Whether or not even if we do end in 45. And yeah, oh, there we go. That's why I'm going with this heavy motorized force for invading, like just all armor and motorized, because first of all, we have no fuel shortage whatsoever. Second of all, we're racing against the Soviet Union, so they're going to have a largely infantry-based army with a lot of armor, but we're going to have an entirely motorized army, which means we can cover twice as much different distance, as long as we don't run out of fuel. All right. We're definitely having some pretty big supply issues down here. I just can't bring myself to invest the IC to build infrastructure, to be honest. It's not a lot of IC, but we need every bit we can get at this point. We really just can't be having, like, I need these armies to come out. That armored core, these guys will be ready in, yeah, July. We need those convoys too. We're probably, we may not actually be running enough convoys on those routes. I could do some manual convoy stuff, but I tend to avoid it because it's gamey. I've played as the UK and just never built any convoys because I manually turn them on and off as I need them. And it's certainly worth doing if you really just want to win the game at all costs, regardless of, you know. But it gets pretty gamey because essentially you can turn on your convoys for one day, ship all the resources, and then turn them off, and the resources just accumulate until you actually turn them on again. So it's also time consuming to go through and cancel every single resource convoy. Right, so it looks like looks like most of the Siamese army made it back. This guy's probably screwed. But some of the Siamese army made it back, so that'll kind of reinforce our line a bit. We kind of left them high and dry, to be honest. I'm going to play maybe until June 1st or so. Just lots of techs popping off here. That's going to help. Man, that tech's going to help a lot. Another Battle of Taranto. Oh yeah, these are just air battles. How are we doing in Italy? We do have to pay attention here, you know. We can, yeah, like we are kind of on the limit of, in terms of air. We're definitely getting bombed pretty heavily. See, this is an area where it would be tempting, to be honest, to start to do some like airbase bombing. Speaking of that, let's do a strategic bombing run on Germany. I don't want to hit anything in France because I want to take it. Okay, what can we hit here? We want to hit Dusseldorf. I wonder how bad we'll get hit. I could have been doing this like every 2 months the entire campaign, but I forget. It's not easy to. It's not easy to remember to do everything. Okay, we're just crushing them. Looks like they don't have any. Looks like most of their air force is on the Eastern Front. Civil defense is good. Civil defense is a great tech. A lot of people don't know what it does. It repairs your ships and aircraft and provinces, just everything that gets repaired in the game. So I think it maybe even anything that has like strength, it just restores strength faster. I think. I don't think it's just province-based stuff. I think it's ships, aircraft, province things, and I think it's even how quickly you replenish, how quickly you reinforce in general, but I might be wrong on that. Okay, let's do logistical bombing. I'll do it continuously at night until we get intercepted. Yeah, this'll be... It's like exponential how much damage this does to the German economy if we are completely... If we're sort of unmolested in doing this, like, I think our logistical bombing mission efficiency has gone up because we're ripping through that a lot quicker. Boy, those German subs are hitting us hard. I think it's the 43 tech. I think it has to do with the timing of the techs, right? Because there's like a 42 sub tech, and then there's like a 45 sub tech or something. And I think the 43 one is what gives me an advantage, and they have to wait another 2 years to get another advantage. So it is designed to be kind of historical because it's only after 43 that the Allies were completely confident in their convoy, in terms of running convoys, right? Maybe we'll just keep bombing them until we can invade them, or until our strategic bombers get intercepted, but they're just not being intercepted at all. Could be a good idea to do some airbase strikes in preparation for the invasion as well. I almost wish that I'd finished these guys and I could send them down to Italy and do airbase strikes down there. It would be good, to be honest. We will. We'll finish them. Because, like I said, I don't think that any more armies going in the queue after this. Officer ratio is getting quite low. I mean, 132 is not quite low, but it needs to be maxed out. So we may have to start putting a lot more leadership into officer ratio. Maybe at the beginning of next episode, I'll kind of re-optimize our techs. I haven't really been paying too much attention to the order of things. Yeah, this is going to take a long time to repair. Let's logistical bombing one more time. And then let's go back to strategic bombing. Just do one night run. And that'll put them to 0, and then it'll take months for them to rebuild that. Where else can we bomb? Typically I like to bomb places that don't have, like Essen would be a decent target. Of course, there's not much IC in Essen, if I remember correctly. You can kind of tell, like there's a lot of IC here, but you can see that there's an airbase, and there's also anti-aircraft guns, so... Schweinfurt. We can hit, if we hit Schweinfurt and they have the ball bearings there, you actually do reduce the percentage bonus that it gives. Same thing with the horses here. Anyway, I'll probably leave it for now, to be honest. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so Japan conquered the Philippines. What's going on with the Navy here? That wasn't a battle, was it? No, that was just them conquering the Philippines. Okay. Alright, I am going to end this episode. Let's just get to the month of June, and I'll end this episode. And the next episode, we will absolutely be on the attack everywhere. For the time being, there is just a bit of boring waiting to do as things build up. And we make sure that we can hold this line. This line is holding fine. I don't see a major stack up of Japanese troops. Very easy to hold a line here, right? Because at the end of the day, they can't really stack much here because they'll run out of supply. There just isn't the infrastructure to support a major campaign here of any kind. And the way that we defeat them is by taking these ports. 1, 2, 3, 4 ports is all we need to take, and then these troops are completely out of supply. So probably what I'll do is I'll build garrisons, and I'll just take the port, put a garrison, take the port, put a garrison, and do that, and then those garrisons will just sit there, these guys will just sit there, and I will just wait until they actually run out of supplies, and then I'll finally push forward. Like, we'll starve them. There's no point in like actually fighting them. But in order to do that, we also need to have those carrier air groups, for sure. Yeah, I just want to wait till those kegs pop out, and then we'll go back over to. Then they'll end the episode, and then next time is that? Why is that? Okay. Definitely at the limit here. Doubting skill 4 now. He's gone up a skill point. He starts skill 3, I think. So interceptor. When you put those leaders in charge of interceptors, they just they take so long to gain skill points. Man, there's a lot down. There's a lot on the border down here. Although not that much actually. It looks like they've actually sent more up to the Eastern Front, to be honest. I don't see anything alarming happening here. That's good. It's also nice to be. It's also nice that we're kind of waiting until some of those land doctrines finish before we launch a major campaign in France. Things are timing out pretty well here. Oh, that's really good too. The anti-tank techs are going to be key. Blitzkrieg, that's great. We are going to be on the offensive. So the normal, you know, the text like central planning that you would use when you're playing as France or when you're, you know, defending on as the Soviet Union are not quite as important. We're really going to be going all out. Should we? Let's just do assault ships for fun. Just for fun. It's totally unnecessary. They would be useful in the Pacific, but I'm probably not going to build them. I'll just complete the tech just for kicks. Yeah, and you know, there is a lot of this. I think, this is one thing I think that some people don't like as much about playing the Allies, specifically Britain and the U.S., is that there is a lot of waiting because of the nature of the kind of naval nature of the campaign. You do end up waiting before you do a lot of your land fighting, and you know, obviously, as Germany or the Soviet Union or France, you have a lot more land fighting going on. What is going on in this battle? I guess the air battle is kind of happening first. Oh yeah, so we completely destroyed their... are we still fighting them? I'm not sure if they are... Okay, let's... Can I follow them? Is that where they're going? Yeah. So we'll follow them there. How are we doing here? Okay, you can go back out. Cunningham AB is skill 6. That's great. He is one of our two... I think Somerset and Cunningham are... Cunningham was the mastermind of the Battle of Taranto. That early port strike that the British did against the Italians that was so successful, and that partly inspired Pearl Harbor. Cunningham, I think, was probably one of the best admirals of the war. You're going to hear a lot more about the American admirals and the Japanese admirals, but Cunningham was quite a good admiral. He was a real pioneer in terms of the... Well, that's an escort carrier. That's a shitty carrier. We should hit the actual ships this time, though. What's going on? Maybe they're fat. They're too fast. Maybe they're running away. What do we got here? Victorious. This is the Illustrious class. We should be doing a bit better than that. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Where we deorg them. I'm gonna follow them. Definitely need to be a little bit careful in terms of not getting completely deorged, and if we run into something really big and nasty. Like, at some point I'll probably merge into this giant fleet. When I have like a skill 9 admiral, I'll just merge into this giant fleet and we can really... Okay, I'm gonna move this guy here. Okay, we intercepted them. They actually have more ships than us. It's part of the problem, but... Medium tank armor. Deal with that after. Something else, I'm seeing more CAGs, so they've moved something else into the area. One of the things we're going to have to do with Japan is pay attention to what ports they have. As they get ports further west, they become able to, like, they can actually attack, like, here from this port, right? So we are going to have to keep those Marines on high alert, and like this situation is not sustainable. We need to get them out of there for sure. What is going on here? Oof, we are getting kind of hit. I'm surprised, to be honest. Something has caught the Victorious. We're winning the battles, but not spectacularly. This is weird. We keep catching them here. I wish I could see the... Get rid of this. We are winning these, though. Everything that we catch, we deorg. I'm just worried about the HMS Victorious there. Losing carriers is not on. Oh yeah, no, we're good. Okay, are they retreating? Somehow they're stuck in this province. Okay, now they're retreating. And we'll catch them again here. Yes! You almost always catch things when they're this deorged. Yeah, I really hope we can sink most of that fleet. At least the carrier. Awesome! Well, we've taken a real toll on the Japanese fleet. They're also going up here again, so we'll catch them again. They're stuck. And this is how you defeat the Japanese Navy. That's one of the garrisons we need in the Pacific, so that's good news. Oh, I never sent those guys out. Next episode. Next episode. Probably we will continuously build garrisons. It's the most effective way to do things. Use our valuable... Okay, it's really good, like, Japan just spams landing craft, so sinking them, even though when I sink like Italian transports and stuff, I'm usually not all that excited, like whatever, it's a transport, but sinking Japanese landing crafts is a good thing for us. We want to do that. It prevents them from doing what they do best, which is landing troops all over the place. Yeah, definitely got some deployment and organization to do next episode. Yeah, great. So that's that fleet gone, all of it. I don't think there's anything left. No. Okay. You need to go home. You can see why I'm not... Oh, what the hell are you doing there? That was really stupid. You can see why I'm not being aggressive in terms of the Navy. Like, you see how quickly a powerful fleet with these are like 1936 or 38 level aircraft carriers. Let's see. They're 36, yeah. So, you know, they're very powerful carriers. They're more powerful than anything we're hitting, but they're not invulnerable. And this is why I don't have fleets like all up here and shit, because you can really, all it takes is for us to have 2 fleets in this shape, and we are at serious risk in terms of holding this key peninsula and the strait there. Tactics, basically. Anyway, I actually think that's a good place to leave off for this episode. I know I said that I'd get us to a point where we can invade, but really all we're waiting for at this point is these 2 for the Pacific, and then this and this. Yeah, it's looking like end of the summer. We'll do like a fall D-Day. It's a bit weird. It's always better to attack in the spring, but there's no way it's worth waiting until the spring of 43. We're gonna set up something like this, basically, here. Maybe, we'll see, maybe like here or something. No, it's not a very good place to hold, but something like this, maybe. We're going to set up a line there, and then we're just going to continually add stuff to it and push forward as quickly as we can. And as we start to get expeditionary forces, that front will spread, and we'll move very quickly deeper into German territory. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, the thumbs up button, please. And if you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Ciao.